This is Art Television.
Coming up, State of Business, sponsored by
New SLT Mobitel Home 4G LTE users get date offers and win valuable tab computers through a raffle draw.
IWS Aviation.
A very good evening. Welcome to State of Business on Art Television. I'm Mariam Vijayaratna. Let's have a look at the headlines first. Sri Lanka welcomes nearly 7,000 tourists during the first 2 days of the month. We are waiting for a price formula. Pharmaceutical industry laments. News in detail. Despite fears looming on the tourism industry being impacted by the Russia-Ukraine conflict, Sri Lanka has welcomed nearly 7,000 tourists during the first 2 days of the month. Tourism Ministry yesterday announced that Russia continues to dominate as the top source market with 30% or 29,703 of the total arrivals to the country so far. As per provisional data released by the Tourism Ministry, Sri Lanka has received 6,896 tourists within the first 2 days of March, turning down the distress among the industry, which was on its path to recovery post-pandemic. According to the released statistics, a total of 2,902 travellers arrived on last Tuesday and 3,994 visitors arrived in the country on Wednesday. Sources also said that these 2 days were led by neighbouring friend India. Tourist arrivals have hit a post-COVID all-time high of 96,507 in February, propelling the cumulative figure to date to 185,730, giving a good start for the year. However, Tourism Ministry also added that Russia continues to dominate as the top source market with 30% or 29,703 of total arrivals to the country so far. India ranked at the second place with 25,763 tourists, with the United Kingdom marked the third place with 18,782 arrivals. Both Germany and Ukraine sent over 13,000 tourists. Till end of February, the tourist arrivals were led by Russians. However, given the current unrest situation, India has emerged as a top source market for the month so far. During the first 2 days of March, 1,268 Indian tourists, followed by 885 Russians, 774 Germans, 698 British and 381 Polish travellers arrived in the country. National People's Power parliamentarian and JVP leader Anurakumara Dissanayake says the current government has no any sort of vision to identify the country's appalling economic condition and any plan to rectify the situation. Addressing a media briefing at the JVP head office yesterday, the parliamentarian said that the government's effort to cover up the crisis with the COVID-19 issue should not be allowed.
අපේ රටේ ජනතාවට අත්‍යවශ්‍ය බහන්න හිගය මා දැක්ක දැන් ඖෂධ සමාගම්වල ඒ ලංකාවේ නියෝජිතයන්ගේ සංසදයේ පහුගියදා මාධ්‍ය සාකච්ඡාවක් තියලා ප්‍රකාශ කරලා තිබුණා. මේ වන විටත් අත්‍යවශ්‍ය බෙහෙත් විශාල ප්‍රමාණයක් හිග තිබෙන බවත් මේ හිගතාවය තවත් වර්ධනය වෙන බවත්. ඒ නිසා බෙහෙත් නැති වෙන තත්ත්වය, ආහාර නැති වෙන තත්ත්වය රටේ මතුවී තිබෙනවා. හැබැයි ආණ්ඩුව හිරිවැටුණු ආණ්ඩුවක්. මේ තියෙන පීඩනය හෝ මේ තියෙන ප්‍රශ්නේ පිළිබඳව හැඟීමක් දැනීමක් නැති කොමාගතියට පත්වෙච්ච ආණ්ඩුවක් අපි ඉස්සරහ තියෙනවා. ඒ නිසා මේ අර්බුදයේ දිග පළල පිළිබඳව දැක්මක් හෝ ඒ විසඳීම සඳහා සලස්මක් නොමැති බව තමයි මේන් පෙන්නුම් කරමින් තිබෙන්නේ. ආණ්ඩුව මේක දිගින් දිගටම උත්සාහ කරන ආණ්ඩුව මේ අර්බුදයේ ප්‍රතිඵල හැටියට පෙන්නුම් කරන්න කොවිඩ් වසංගත තත්ත්වය කියලා. අපි කියන්නේ ආර්ථිකයට කොවිඩ් වලින් බලපෑමක් නොවුණා කියලා. යම් බලපෑමක් සිදු වී තිබෙනවා. හැබැයි මේ ඇති වී තිබෙන අර්බුදය කොවිඩ් වසංගත තත්ත්වයේ හේතු කොටගෙන ඇති වූ අර්බුදයක් නෙවෙයි.
The Sri Lanka Chamber of the Pharmaceutical Industry lamented the lack of a pricing mechanism under the National Medicines Regulatory Authority. Addressing the media yesterday, officials from the Chamber of the Pharmaceutical Industry asserted that the issue affects price amidst a shortage of essential medicines due to the ongoing foreign exchange crisis. The Sri Lanka Chamber of the Pharmaceutical Industry stated it incurs a cost of around $30 million monthly to import medicines to Sri Lanka. The Chamber officials suggested that a sustainable pricing mechanism will help adjust for key input cost changes such as the exchange rate, fuel costs, interest and inflation. The Chamber said they agreed the industry cannot function with an umbrella price formula as the purchase of different drugs entail diverse procurement and production process, brands and other factors.
From the inception of the pandemic, of the COVID pandemic, and we gave an assurance to the government that we would ensure that our member companies will make an uninterrupted supply of pharmaceuticals. Everybody know that there is an issue with regard to the pricing of pharmaceuticals. So we have been discussing with the NMRA, National Drugs Regulatory Authority, our regulator, to get a fair pricing mechanism, which unfortunately did not come.
We have three situations. One is delays in NMRA is causing a little bit of problem, and then price control, unrealistic price mechanism that is prevailing is also causing a problem. And the third piece is definitely dollar crisis, right? Dollar crisis, definitely it is common to every industry, but we also have a serious problem. Until last month before last, so we didn't have a major crisis as such. But now the time, by time the crisis is increasing. So this month and last 2 weeks, the banks have been advised to prioritize dollars to buy petrol and the power related stuff, right? So slightly some deprioritization has happened. If this trend continues, we are going to have a serious problem, including life-saving drugs. We will have a serious problem. At the moment, it is under control.
Within 24 hours of the media briefing, the Ministry of Health has set the maximum retail price of 500 milligram paracetamol tablets at ₹2.30 each. Ministry last evening issued a gazette notification to this effect, and the new price comes into effect from 28th of February. The gazette notification said that the maximum retail price of paracetamol tablets or capsules with 500 mg shall be applicable to all the brand names of the generic name of the drug. We'll be right back after this short commercial break.
Now you can buy your ultra-fast fiber connection online through sltmobitel.lk and get special discounts.
Roundup.
Welcome back after the break. The Indian CEO Forum in Colombo was held recently, strengthening further strong friendship between India and Sri Lanka. The event particularly stressed the cooperation under the 5 pillars of economic, financial, development partnership, capacity building and people-to-people ties. India was Sri Lanka's second largest trading partner in year 2020, and the amount has grown further in 2021 to reach $5.23 billion. India is also one of the biggest investors in Sri Lanka, with total FDI of more than $1.7 billion in the past 15 years. Deputy High Commissioner Sri Vinod K. Jacob, addressing the event, said that India and Sri Lanka have sought to develop the relationship further by harnessing complementary strengths and enhancing mutual understanding on economic matters. Deputy High Commissioner recalled the currency swap of $400 million, postponement of US $515 million by Central Bank of Sri Lanka to the Reserve Bank of India under the Asian Clearing Union, and a line of credit for $500 million for the purposes of fuel imports from India. In addition, a line of credit for $1 billion for import of food, medicines and essential items by Sri Lanka from India is also under discussion. Deputy High Commissioner also highlighted the development partnership and capacity building program with Sri Lanka, besides stressing people-to-people ties as one of the most important factors that enable the bilateral relationship. He also said that in the year 2021, 1.94 lakhs tourists arrived in Sri Lanka, out of which 56,268 were from India, and it equals to 29% of total arrivals. Deputy High Commissioner also mentioned the complementary nature of cooperation between India and Sri Lanka in the health sector and noted the delivery of Covishield under Vaccine Maitri, supply of medical oxygen, 26 tons of medical supplies and donation of 100,000 rapid antigen test kits. Managing Director of the Tantri Trailers, Atula Haputantri, says that industrialists as well as the government must introduce proper ways and means to attract the younger generation into the skilled-related employments. Speaking at a function held recently in Colombo, the Tantri Managing Director Haputantri said that the negative attitude towards the skill-based job must be changed first.
අපේ මේ ටෙක්නිකල් එඩියුකේෂන් කිව්වහම ටෙක්නිකල් ට්‍රේනින් කිව්වහම අපේ ගොඩක් තරුණයන් මැලි වෙනවා ටෙක්නිකල් එඩියුකේෂන් වලට එන්න මම ඒක දකිනවා ඒකට ගොඩක් හේතු තියෙනවා එකක් තමයි ටෙක්නිකල් කිව්වහම ගොඩක් අයගේ ඔළුවේ තියෙන්නේ මේ බාස් කෙනෙක් වෙනවා කියන එක. ඉතින් ඒ වගේ ඉතින් ඒ පැත්තෙන් බැලුවාම ඇත්තටම අපේ ඉන්ඩස්ට්‍රියලිස්ට්ලා විදිහට කර්මාන්තකරුවෝ විදිහට අපිටත් තියෙනවා යුතුයකමක් ඒගොල්ලන්ව මේ අපේ මේ පැත්තට ආකර්ෂණය කරගන්න අපේ කර්මාන්ත වලට ආකර්ෂණය කරගන්න. නමුත් අපි දැක්කොත් වෙන රටක ගිහින් බැලුවොත් හොඳට හෙල්මට් එකක් දාලා උඩ ඉඳන් පල්ලෙහාට වෙනකන් ඕවර්ऑल කිට් එකක් ඇඳලා සේෆ්ටි ෂූස් දෙකක් දාලා ග්ලව්ස් දෙකක් දාලා ඒ අවශ්‍ය උපකරණ ටික බෙල්ට් එක දාලා ඒ ජොබ් එක හරියට කරන කෙනෙක් දකින්න. හැබැයි එයා කරන්නේත් ඒකමයි අපේ එක්කෙනා කරන්නේත් ඒකමයි. ඉතින් අපි තරුණයන්ව ආකර්ෂණය කරගන්න ඕන නම් අපි ඒගොල්ලන්ට අවශ්‍ය මේ වගේ ඒ తত্ত্বය ඒ යුරෝපයේ හරි අනිත් ජපානයේ හරි තියෙන తত্ত্বය මෙහි අපේ රටේ ඒක ඇති කරන්න අවශ්‍ය වෙනවා. ඉතින් ඒ වගේ තත්වයක් අපි දැනට තන්ත්‍රීය ආයතනයේ පටන් අරගෙන තියෙනවා. අපි දැනට ඒක කරගෙන යනවා.
Managing Director of the Tantri Trailers, Atula Haputantri, also said that the companies as well as the training institutes must make individuals who know a subject from A to Z and not the jack of all trades. He also added that the international market values not only the knowledge but also the way an individual finishes a job with the perfection and neatness.
අපේ ඇත්තටම සමහර තැන්වල සිලබස් එක අප්ග්‍රේඩ් වෙලා නැති තැන් තියෙනවා. සමහර වෙලාවට අපි ඒගොල්ලන්ව ගත්තාම ඊතර ඒ අවශ්‍ය වර්ල්ඩ් එකේ තියෙන ඉන්ටර්නැෂනල් මේ මාක් එකට ඇවිල්ලා නැහැ ඒගොල්ලෝ. සමහර වෙලාවට මට හිතෙනවා මේ අපි හදන්නේ මේ ජැක් ඔෆ් ඕල් ට්‍රේඩ්ස් කියලා. හැම එකෙම ටික ටික දන්න එක්කෙනෙක්. සර්ටිෆිකේට් එකක් අරන් එහෙම එක්කෙනෙක් අපි ගාවට එනවා. ගෑස් වෙල්ඩින් ටිකක් දන්නවා, ආක් වෙල්ඩින් ටිකක් දන්නවා, තියරි එක පොඩ්ඩක් දන්නවා. හැබැයි එක වැඩක්වත් හරියට කරන්න දන්නේ නැහැ. අපි හදන්න ඕනේ දැන් අපි දැන් චයිනාවල ගොඩක් ෆැක්ටරිස් වලට ගිහින් බැලුවාම අපිට පේනවා ඒ මනුස්ස ඒ මොකක් හරි වෙල්ඩර් කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා නම් එයා මොකක් හරි මිග් වෙල්ඩර් කෙනෙක් නම් එයා දන්නේ මිග් වෙල්ඩින් විතරමයි. වෙන රටේ වෙන දෙයක්වත් දන්නේ නැහැ. ඒ වගේ තත්ත්වයක්. අර ඒ මිග් වෙල්ඩින් ගැන එයා හොඳටම ફોකස් ඒ වැඩේ හරියටම කරනවා. හරියටම කළා ඒ ග්ලව්ස් ටික ඇඳගෙන හරි කිට් එක ඇඳගෙන ඇවිල්ලා වෙල්ඩින් කළා ඒ තැන වෙල්ඩින් කළා පිරිසිදු කළා ඔක්කොම කළා යනවා. අර වෙල්ඩ් ඇවිල්ලා වෙල්ඩින් කරපු තැන ඔක්කොම සුද්ධ කරලා හරියට කළ සම්පූර්ණ තිබිච්ච තත්වයට එතන පවත්තලා එයාගේ වැඩෙත් ඉවර කරලා යනවා.
We'll be right back with the stock updates.
What is the first thing an angel says? Fear not. Be not afraid.
What's happening to you? I am an angel.
Well, why don't you just sit down, have a cup of coffee, and listen to a nice little story?
And you've never been visited by an angel before.
Your next assignment, Angela Evan. She's fighting a terrible fear.
Who has the power to enlighten and encourage the lives of millions of people.
Believe me, I'll walk with you.
New SLT Mobitel Home 4G LTE users get date offers and win valuable tab computers through a raffle draw.
Welcome back after the break. Trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on a positive note today. The all-share price index gained 80.83 points to close at 11,243.49 and the S&P SL20 gained 55.91 points to close at 3,820.91. The turnover was just surpassed 3 billion rupees and over 77 million shares were traded. Up next are Forex rates. That's all we have for you tonight. Have a great weekend. Good night.
State of Business was sponsored by
New SLT Mobitel Home 4G LTE users get date offers and win valuable tab computers through a raffle draw.
IWS Aviation.
This is Art Television.